Hey YouTube, it's the New York Half-Ass Prepper here, coming at you with a video. I was inspired by Southern Prepper 1, because he keeps mentioning that he wants to buy a diesel generator and that everything that he's got is gasoline. I wanted to stress the importance of diesel fuel or any alternative fuel to preppers. Now, if you know your history, or you could just Google this, Google Katrina gasoline lines. After Hurricane Katrina, you could not get gasoline in and around the state of Louisiana, Mississippi, Louisiana. Everybody was sold out of gasoline. If there was anybody with gasoline, the lines were literally a mile long to get gasoline, because everybody had their little 5-gallon cans and they were getting fuel for their generators. However, there was plenty of diesel fuel. All those gas stations had plenty of diesel fuel for sale, but they had no gasoline. Now, a lot of people are put off by diesel. There's a lot of myths surrounding diesel fuel, but diesel fuel is superior in every way to gasoline. It stores longer, it has more energy in the fuel, it's actually cheaper. People go to the pump at the gas station and they see the prices, and they see that diesel fuel actually, at the pump costs more than gasoline. But if you're a prepper, you're not going to be buying your diesel fuel at the pump. Diesel fuel is the same thing as home heating oil. There are some differences. My day job is in petroleum. I could tell you all about it, but with the product that you want to buy is home heating oil. And in the Northeast United States, you can get that delivered to your house by tanker truck. And because there's no over-the-road tax on it, it actually is cheaper than gasoline. Gasoline, unless you live out in Arizona, someplace where you can get tax-free fuel delivered to your property, you're going to pay the over-the-road tax. But diesel fuel, if you're using it for heating purposes, or for agricultural purposes, or for your backup generator for creating electricity, there's no over-the-road tax, and it's actually cheaper than gasoline. And you can get these tanks. This particular tank came off of Craigslist. I paid like $200 for it. That is a pump that I got at Tractor Supply. I think it was $200 and change on sale. I've always modified it. I got like extra length of hose on here and stuff to fill stuff up. But you're gonna need stuff to run with your diesel, so you get yourself a diesel car. That way, when everyone else has no gasoline, they can't bug out, they can't evacuate, they can't do anything because they're all out of gas. You jump in your diesel car and away you go. Another benefit of a diesel car is that you can run it on biodiesel. If you can get or make biodiesel in your area, you can convert these to run on waste vegetable oil and basically run the car for free. Or you can actually run this in an emergency. I don't recommend this all the time because it's going to eventually ruin the car, but you can run this car on waste motor oil. If you have the engine running already and it's warmed up and you have a warm climate, you can dump waste motor oil into the tank and this engine will run. And they did that up in the Alaska pipeline. That's how they got rid of their waste oil in the big bulldozers and loaders and stuff up there. They just dumped it into the tank and they burned it. But I don't recommend you do that all the time. It will ruin the car eventually. But you can get these tanks. This tank here was a Frio. This 55-gallon drum was a Frio. I found it in the garbage. I recycled it. If you fill this up with diesel fuel, you could store diesel fuel in there for 20 years without any kind, provided it has no moisture or water in it and there's no sunlight hitting it. You could store diesel fuel in there for 20 years, easy. I've taken fuel out of tanks like this, I pumped it out, it's been in there for 20, 30 years, and I used it for my own purposes. It's fine. It'll last. You're not doing that with gasoline. Gasoline, you leave it in a tank for 6 months like this, it's garbage. First of all, if it's not completely sealed up, it's going to evaporate. But you can't store gasoline in tanks like this because you need vapor recovery and all of that nonsense, and it's got to be sealed from the atmosphere. But you can put diesel fuel in here all day long. I got to take it one step further. I got these filters here. This is a Frio, a friend of mine gave it to me. But basically there's 3 filter elements in there. You put clean, dirty fuel in one side and it comes out clean on the other side. And that one there that's a pre-filter that I put on there to get the big chunks out. But I run all the fuel that I get from unknown sources, I put it through this rig and it works out fine. and I can throw it right in this car and drive away with it if I want to. But a tank like this, you could even make it out of an old 275 heating oil tank. You can find them on free on Craigslist. You can remove them from people's houses for free. You find them in the garbage. Make sure it's airtight, and you could store diesel fuel for years in these things. So again, the product that you want is home heating oil. It's red. It has dye in it because there's no tax on it. There's no over-the-road tax. It's cheaper than gasoline, and it's superior in every respect. The cars, they last longer. The diesel cars last longer. They get better mileage over the road. And a lot of people are, oh, the diesel cars are smelly, they're noisy. That's not the case. The old cars, the old GM cars were like that, and GM kind of ruined the reputation of the diesel with the 350 diesel. But these modern cars, this is a 1998. If I put someone in this car that didn't know it was a diesel, they would never know. They would drive around all day, and they wouldn't even realize that this car was diesel. It's quiet, it doesn't smell, it starts up in the winter. It doesn't have any of the drawbacks that people say that diesel do. And I got a deal on this car. A used car, you don't pay any premium on a diesel. If you're buying a brand new car or truck from a dealership, yeah, there's going to be a $3,000 to $6,000 premium for the diesel. But it's worth it. It will pay for itself. But when you buy a used car, they tend to hold their value pretty good, but there's no premium on having a diesel engine. So diesel, diesel, diesel. If you are a prepper, you gotta get a diesel. You have to get away from the gas station. You have to get away from storing gas cans like this and rotating them, when you could store this for 20 years and be done with it. Or you could store this. Every time you got some extra money, fill up one of these and put it back. You can run your house. You can run the heating system in your house. I got a pump so I can fill up my my backhoe, my tractor, and everything with the diesel. I can fill up cars. I actually get over-the-road diesel delivered into this tank to can run the cars on the road legally. I don't run them on red fuel, but my tractor, my backhoe, my farm equipment, I'll run it on the red diesel. So that's it. That's my rant on diesel for preppers. New York Half-Ass Prepper, I'm out.